Hello, everybody, and welcome to race number 23 of Season 3 NASCAR Walmart Cup Series. So, after this race, we have only 3 races left until the chase, along with the Chase LZQ at Talladega. Hi, I'm Levi McIntyre, aka Thrash Maniac 99, the voice of NASCAR Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Sirius at the Glen here at Watkins Glen International. So this is going to be an interesting race, and also David Rivera is back at it for commentary. So welcome back, Mr. Rivera.
Thanks, no problem, anytime.
All right, so enough of us chatting about this. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for today's race here at the Glen.
Imagine the dreams of a 13-year-old looking up at the sky, wondering how the world can be so cold. This kid wasn't sold it would be like this. At nighttime, wishes to be safe from this abyss. Cause this shit is something that can be dismissed. A boy born as a girl who is going through the stress. He's got a shotgun up, but can't play for the team. His school won't let him even though it's his dream. Now he's sitting in bed with a loaded gun, thinking about blowing his brains out to kingdom come. Cause he's been bullied and teased all his life. Almost killed himself 2 years ago by slitting his wrist with a knife. I wonder if he sees the things I see for him. 10 years down the line, speaking at the forum. A college graduate up at the top of his class. The first trans NFL player up in the draft.
Well, there's a look at your starting lineup. Jessica Sheldon on the pole with Dylan Young in second. So we got veterans slash legends up in the front row for this race. So this is going to be interesting. But here we go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys and girls.
Let's do this.
And Sheldon, she's going to get cleared of Dylan Young, and she's going to hold on to that lead. And now, here comes Jessie Setti, a fellow female, going into the second spot over Dylan Young. And then behind them, we got a battle for third already starting to brew between 3 cars. Dylan Young, Chase Oliver, and Seth Cole. And Sheldon, she's going to pull ahead now with a nice marginable lead as they now head into the bus stop. And this is the danger part of the track. A wreck could happen at any time, and Dylan Young overdrove that corner, and now he's going to lose 2 spots. As I'm looking through everybody to make sure no crash took place.
We almost just happened, but I think we're okay.
Yeah, everybody got through the bus stop pretty clean. And right now it's female domination right now, as we got 2 of the best females in Walmart Cup competition in first and second, with Jessica Sheldon and Jessie Setti up at the front. And Jessica Sheldon will lead lap number 1 of 14 here at the Glen. And here comes Jessie Setti. She's got a pretty fast car right now, in that number 88 Diet Mountain Dew car. And funny enough with these two, with Sheldon and Setti, they're both actually teammates out of Hendrick Motorsports, which I completely forgot about. So that's another interesting component with this, is that they're both teammates from Hendrick Motorsports. And actually, we're going to go to the non-cam to make sure nothing took place, as everybody's just sliding, but nothing as far as crashes has taken place.
Yeah, nothing
It doesn't
too
look
serious
like it.
yet, so hopefully it keeps it that way.
Indeed. And the reason why we go through that camera is because that is the most dangerous part of the track, because drivers could lose and hit the tire wall and bounce up in front of everybody and cause a massive crash. But at the moment, it is all Jessica Sheldon, and now we see a battle for second between Chase Oliver and the driver in second right now, Jessie Setti, but Setti's going to hold on to the spot. Battle for fourth going on between Seth Cole and Dylan Young and Cody Hagan. And David Rivera, who didn't have that great of a finish last week at Road America, he's having a great run right now, currently running in the 7th position. So That's good. And look at the big lead Jessica Sheldon has at the moment. And now we head back to the Nun cam. And whoa, I saw Sonny Hammond overdrive that
Yeah, I
corner
just
really
noticed
bad.
that
And
too.
oh, and I thought I saw some go down. They say they managed to keep it together. It looked like they were practically 4 wide going through the bus stop, but they managed to keep it together, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's a really good move. You really got to keep the eyes open too, especially with this track.
Indeed. But so far, Jessica Sheldon started on the pole and has dominated this race so far, but I do have a gut feeling that we may see green flag pit stops in this race a little bit later in the day. So, yeah. And let's actually take a look at how the field currently runs at the moment, since we haven't had a crash, or at least not yet. Jessica Sheldon is your leader. Second is Jesse Setti. Third is Chase Oliver. Fourth is Seth Cole, who, wow, completely overdrove that corner, but he keeps it
Good
together.
save.
Fifth is Dylan Young. Sixth is Cody Hagan. Seventh is David Rivera. Eighth is Jesse King. Ninth is Trent Dunham. 10th is Charles Jackson. 11th is Chris Washer. 12th is Biggie Spencer. 13th is Sonny Hammond. 14th is Kyle Matthews. 15th is last week's winner of Road America, Ken Thoreau, with Jecko Knight in 16th. 17th is Anthony McCrory. 18th is Cassandra Renzi. 19th is Matt McIntyre. 20th is Michael Norman. 21st is Jordan Culp. 22nd, Cody Lamas. 23rd, Ian Dutta. 24th, Kendall Maynard. 25th, Eric Burton. 26th is Ryan Anderson Jr. 27th, Larry Hagan. 28th, Henrietta Fitzwater. 29th, Gabe Williams. 30th, Dylan Thoreau. 31st, Eric Enrage. 32nd, Rue McIntyre. 33rd, Justin Talampas. 34th, Brandon Nichols. 35th, Alex Hawkins. 36th, Alex Pedro. 37th, PJ Williams. 38th, Charles Sanford. 39th, Austin Weiner. 40th is Zachary Fitzwater. 41st, Nick Pericles. And running dead last and 42nd is Michael Walton. But wow, look at the lead that Sheldon has built up off of the 88 of Jesse Setti. We'll actually take a look and see how the margin is once them two cross the start-finish line. Let's see how it is now. It is currently nearly 2.5 seconds Jessica Sheldon has over Jesse Setti. So as long as Sheldon doesn't make any mistakes, and if she has to come and pit, and hope she doesn't make a mistake there, she could have this race in the bag, but I'm not making any guarantees at the time being.
Yeah, it's showing that confidence is really there. So hopefully things will go well. Got a good lead, which is really awesome. So we'll see.
So, and I forgot to ask earlier in the race, who do you think is your good pick to win this race?
Well, not only, of course, the number 9 car, which is doing really well, I'm also keeping my eye out on the 88 too, and as well the Hershey's car too, as well, that I'm looking at too at the moment.
Indeed. If I had to go with somebody to keep an eye out on, Chase Oliver is a guy to keep an eye out on. So too is Dylan Young. But meanwhile, Sheldon, we are 1 lap away from halfway here at the Glen, in the Sirius satellite radio at the Glen. So there you go. And right now it is still the top 2 being Hendrick Motorsports cars, and the 2 females of the team being Jessica Sheldon and Jessie Setti. And Jessie Setti has been getting on a roll as of late, and she has a fire under her belly because she almost won the Brickyard 400 2 weeks ago at Indianapolis. And she ran well and finished top 10 last week at Road America, and here she is running second again here at the Glen. And as we look back here, battle for 4th between Dylan Young and Seth Cole, and it looks like Young will probably get the spot as he's going to have that advantage of the low line, but now that's going to go over to Seth Cole. Just some transitioning corners right there. Oh, and we got one car that's wrecked, and that's Kyle Matthews. Oh, and then Brandon Nichols and Rue McIntyre have wrecked, and Alex Hawkins is wrecked, and Jekko Knight.
God.
He was running in the top 15 when this happened. And Nick Pericles, I think, was involved. Was he? Yeah, he was. So something happened.
Yeah, big time.
And Michael Norman actually has some side damage from whatever this was. And Dylan Thoreau has some side damage on the right side. So something looked like it took place in the S's, that dangerous part of the track again. So we'll have to, after the race is over, we'll take a look at a replay of what happened with that. In the meantime, Jessica Shelton is still the leader, and she is not yet coming into pit road, so maybe I could see these drivers pitting within the lap 11 to lap 12 range, potentially. So we could keep an eye out on that. But Jessica Shelton, she's trying to be the 4th driver so far this season to have won a race by leading every single lap in that same race. And it's only going to be, if it happens, the 4th time ever in Walmart Cup Series that it's happened that way. And also, and also, like we mentioned, Austin Weiner has done it twice this season. And you know what I've noticed? With those 3 times before where drivers dominated by leading every lap and winning, were all on road courses. Austin Weiner did it at Canadian Tire earlier this season and did it again at Infineon. Ken Thoreau did it last week at Road America, and right now, so far, it's been Jessica Shelton doing it.
Yeah, that's true. You actually bring up a really good point. It's really interesting.
Let's actually see how big of a margin. Almost 4 seconds. Nobody has been able to catch that 9 car. Jesse said he's still been doing good in second. Chase Oliver, he's been trying to maybe run down the 88, but it's just not been able to happen. Nick Pericles is, I guess, going to continue. So is Rue McIntyre and Alex Hawkins after whatever took place back in a couple laps ago. And Nick Pericles is actually just coming out of the bus stop area, and now Jessica Shelton's coming out of there, so Shelton is probably going to catch that 16 of Nick Pericles at some point. And now we are on lap 10 heading into lap 11. Let's see if Shelton's coming down the pit road, and it doesn't look like she will be. And actually, the list of cars that are out of the race after what took place a little bit ago are Jekko Knight, Kyle Matthews, and Brandon Nichols. So this will be the 2nd race in a row Brandon Nichols is going to finish dead last. So tough break for him, so that means he's going to free fall on points a little more. But let's take a look and see how the field is currently running now, as Jessica Shelton still is up at the front. 2nd is Jesse Setti, 3rd is Chase Oliver, 4th Dylan Young, 5th is Seth Cole, 6th is David Rivera, 7th is Cody Hagan, 8th is Charles Jackson, 9th is Jesse King, 10th is Biggie Spencer, 11th is Chris Washer, 12th is Trent Dunham, 13th is Sonny Hammond, 14th is Anthony McCrory, 15th is last week's winner Ken Thoreau, 16th Cassandra Renzi, 17th is Matt McIntyre, 18th Kendall Maynard, 19th Ian Dutta, 20th is Cody Lamas, 21st is Ryan Anderson Jr., 22nd is Larry Hagan, 23rd Eric Burton, 24th Eric Enrage, 25th is Gabe Williams, 26th Henrietta Fitzwater, 27th Austin Weiner, 28th Dylan Thoreau, 29th Zachary Fitzwater, 30th Alex Pedro, 31st Jordan Kolb, 32nd Michael Norman, 33rd Michael Walden, 34th is Justin Talampas, 35th. PJ Williams, 36th. Charles Sanford, 37th. Alex Hawkins, 38th. Rue McIntyre, and 39th is Nick Pericles. And Jessica Sheldon still has not come down the pit road, and it's coming to about 2 laps to go here at the Glen. I mean, we saw last week at Road America, the cars barely made it through 8 laps on fuel, but then again, it's a bigger track. With this track, they're running a little bit of a longer race, and they still haven't yet pitted, so it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with this. And Sheldon doesn't look like she's coming in the pit this time again, and she's coming to take 2 laps to go here at the Glen. Trying to look out for any battles going on, and wait a minute, where's Dylan Young? I don't see Dylan Young up there. What in the world?
Yeah, it looks like he...
Oh, he's
fell
coming
back
into
down
pit
there.
road. This could be a start of green flag pit stops, as Dylan Young is in pit road. I think he's the only car who is
that's the
in
only
pit
car that I
road.
see.
That could be danger for the leaders like Shelton and Jesse Setti. It could be something that could be end in disaster if they don't come into pit road, depending on what strategy they're going for. Unless Jessica Sheldon may have started to back off a little bit and start saving a little bit of fuel in order to keep herself going for the rest of the race. And wow, look at that lead. 5.5 seconds Sheldon has over Setti, but she ain't pitting this time, and she's coming to the white flag. White flag is out for Jessica Sheldon, our Season 1 champion, running at the front and has led every single lap here today.
That's really outstanding. It looks like as of right now, I'm pretty sure that the number 9 car is definitely going to win. So
It depends on, it all depends on if they have enough fuel to make it, though. After Dylan Young coming into the pits, that could have been a sign that these cars will be short on gas. But you never know sometimes. We've seen stuff like this before where at the end of the race, some cars would come in the pit and some didn't.
That is true.
And I thought Sheldon might have ran out of fuel there, but she's still going. I believe if she runs out of fuel now, she can probably coast it the rest of the way, depending on how the drivers behind her are on fuel. And I think she might be able to coast it if she runs out. And it looks like she isn't coming in the pit. It don't matter. I think she's going to have it. Coming to the checkered flag. Jessica Sheldon is going to make it a 3-way tie for the all-time wins in Walmart Cup competition. Jessica Sheldon is going to win the Series at the Glen at Watkins Glen.
Great win.
Wow. And as I'm looking around in the back to see if anything actually happened, and it didn't look like any more wrecks happened, but we're going to stay with Nick Pericles because he's the last car left to not cross the finish line. Along with Dylan Young. So we got to stay with these two in order to keep an eye out on them getting to the start-finish line, so that way the results can be official. But before we look at the results, we're going to take a look at a replay to see what happened to guys like Kyle Matthews, Checo Knight, and Brandon Nichols, among others. And in fact, we're actually going to take a look at that replay right now. Well, here's a look at what happened. It looks like Kyle Matthews, he just lost it, flat out lost it, and completely overdrove that corner, and he doesn't turn down fast enough, and he scrapes the tire wall and then comes back up in front of Checo Knight. And that's what happened to those cars. Now, I'm starting to get a feeling if cars are going to come into the picture and are going to get into Checo Knight potentially. Henrietta Fitzwater does sideswipe.
Yeah, just a little bit.
The car. And wow, Michael Norman and Jordan Kolb completely overdrove that corner, though they could have been trying to avoid the 42. Oh, the wreck with the 12 and the 28 already happened back here. What in the world? Oh my. All those guys just flat out lost it. Look at the 28. Completely loses it. So too does the 12 and the 13 and the 34
Wow.
and the 27. So 5 cars just flat out lost it right there. And they all just slide. And
Mm-hmm.
they scraped the tire wall, but didn't really get into much of bad damage. But I saw Nick Pericles get some hits. Oh, it was from, what in the world? It looked like Michael
Let's see.
Walden lost it too. And Charles Sanford lost it, and
Yeah,
that's
right
why he was
there.
so far behind. And then Walden spins and then comes up into Pericles, and then they get into Sanford. That was just a case of a lot of cars just flat out losing it in that bus stop. And there you see the 42 who was smoking, and then the 38 and the 3 who went off track to avoid. But still, that was a tough break for all those cars that were involved in those spins. But that does it for the look at the only crashes we had in the race. Let's take you to the official results here at the Glen. Well, let's take a look at the official results. Jessica Sheldon finally gets that win that has eluded her this season. And with that, she is the 4th driver ever in Walmart Cup Series competition and of the season to have won a race by leading every single lap in that exact race. And this puts her in a 3-way tie for the all-time career Walmart Cup Series wins of 7 with Chris Washer and Austin Weiner. Jessie Seti, another solid finish for her. This could be moving her up into higher parts in the points. She comes away with 2nd. Chase Oliver needed this run as he came into the race outside the top 20. But this could move him back into the top 20, but I think he might have to win another race and try to stay ahead of guys like Talampas if he's going to try to get a wild card spot. Seth Cole, another solid top 5 finish in 4th, and David Rivera gets a much needed finish of 5th. Jesse King, a solid 6th. Solid 7th for Charles Jackson. Biggie Spencer needed a run like this in order to get out of the 40s in the points, and he's going to come away with an 8th place finish. Cody Hagan, solid 9th, and Chris Washer comes in finishing in the top 10. The rest of the top 20 was Sonny Hammond, Trent Dunham, Anthony McCurry, Ken Thoreau, Cassandra Renzi, Kendall Maynor, Matt McIntyre, Ian Dutta, Cody Lamas, and Larry Hagan. Rest of the top 30 was Ryan Anderson Jr., Eric Burton, Eric Enrage, Gabe Williams, Austin Weiner, Henrietta Fitzwater, Dylan Thoreau, Zachary Fitzwater, Alex Pedro, and Michael Norman. And the rest of the cars that finished the race on the lead lap were Jordan Kolb, Michael Walden, P.J. Williams, Justin Talampas, Charles Sanford, Alex Hawkins, Rue McIntyre, Dylan Young, and Nick Pericles. And then the next 3 cars were out of the race: Jecko Knight, Kyle Matthews, and Brandon Nichols. So that does it for our coverage today here at the Glen. The next race we head to, which will be the first of 3 races left in the regular season, we head to the 2-mile racetrack of Michigan, and me and David will be back for commentary for that. But thank you guys for checking out the Glen. Here are your results: rookie points and regular points.
Enough drive in the right state of mind. Nobody's ever gonna even get close to your shine. So if you find you wanna be a doctor, a priest, an astronaut, a fireman, or join the police, be on the silver screen, become a movie star, or be a pro racer and drive fast cars. It don't matter the age, it don't matter the color, it don't matter the gender or who you love. If you got it in your heart, then go ahead and do it. If you have a gift, then please go ahead and use it. Cause I was feeling stupid while trying to do music, thinking that I had no voice and that I was useless. But as I write this down, I can see what I mean. Nobody ever will stop me from achieving my dreams.